Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshina Murti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sankapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Datkatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidhusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. So namaste once again, everyone. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushakahyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. So in the last class of Gita, which was 2 weeks ago, we were discussing about Vyavasayatmika buddhi. And we saw Bhagavan Krishna telling Arjuna, "O Arjuna, there is only one clear understanding in the field of Karma Yoga. However, the notions of those without the clarity of this, they are many branched and endless. Bahushaka anantascha," he said. So in this verse, the word Vyavasaya means Nishchaya. Nishchaya is clarity with reference to what I seek and how I am going to go about gaining it. The mind, buddhi, therefore, is said to be single pointed, eka. There is also only one goal, moksha, in the form of jnana, knowledge. That the goal, the end is clear itself is a very big accomplishment. But that clarity should not stop there. It is not only that the goal is clear, but also one must have clarity as to what are the correct sadhanas or steps one needs to take to attain that goal. And that could include so many things, so many disciplines. Disciplines relating to the body, relating to the speech, disciplines relating to eating, All these things one should be very well aware of. And again, mere awareness of the disciplines is not enough. One should put that into practice. One should practice those sadhanas if you want to achieve the goal. Because we have seen many people, especially, in the New Year's Day, they will fix a goal. Okay, this year I want to do weight reduction. I want to lose 10 kilos of my weight, or whatever, some number, can take it, 5 kilos, 10 kilos. Goal is very clear. Their fixed time frame is also clear. Within this year, I'm going to lose weight. So this is very clear. And they may also go about what are all the things in terms of diet, in terms of physical exercise, that they have to do in order to achieve that goal. This much is fine, but merely fixing the goal and merely knowing what are all the things to be done to achieve that goal, is that sufficient to attain the goal? One needs to put into practice what are all the exercises, how diet is to be controlled, what times I'm supposed to eat, how I am going to avoid stress in my life, which is also a contributory factor for weight gaining rather. So all these things one must put into practice in order to attain the goal. Similarly, here also, first of all, one needs to clearly understand that moksha is the destiny of all human beings, in fact, all beings. Even for animals also, moksha is their destiny. But they cannot achieve it in their animal form. They have to take a human birth to achieve it. So one should very clearly see that moksha is my destiny, and that is exactly what I am seeking. And the moksha means what? Freedom. Freedom from a sense of limitation. And that freedom must be centered on myself alone. That it cannot be outside of me. If you have all this understanding, that means the goal is clear. And further, one should be able to see that actually I am already free, and that if I were bound, I could never be free. So the bondage is more of a notion rather than a real fact. All that I need to do is that once I understand I am actually free, I should know to own it up, own up that freedom. And this is exactly what one needs to go about, how one needs to go about. So for that, what kind of knowledge I need to have first? And that there is such a thing as freedom I am seeking, and that is in the form of knowledge. Why? Knowledge has to come and knock off the wrong notion or the misconceived notion that I am bound. That only knowledge can do. No sadhana can do that. Ajnana has to be knocked off only by jnanam. So these aspects should be very, very clear in one's mind. What is the nature of this bondage? What is the freedom I am talking about? All these aspects. And what is it that I need to do in order to gain that knowledge? That also one should be very, very clear in one's mind. So this is what is all, encompassed or encompassing in the term vyavasayatmika buddhi. This we must be very clear. So once we have recognized this, that freedom is the goal and jnanam is the means, ignorance can be got rid of only by knowledge. That jnanam is the sadhana for the discovery of that freedom. Mind you, it is only discovery of the freedom which already exists is moksha. Moksha does not mean gaining freedom. Even though many times we use the terminologies like attaining freedom, gaining freedom, etc., we must understand that what we are talking about moksha is the discovery of the freedom which we already are or which we already have. Freedom is our swarupa. So when you have this kind of a clear understanding, there is some kind of a picture which comes into our mind, what we call, the broad picture. What is my destination? What am I supposed to do to reach that destination? This becomes very clear. Then the second stage of recognition is that for gaining that jnanam, or for that matter, any knowledge, I require a prepared mind. I require a mind which can actually absorb that knowledge. Whether it is knowledge of physics or chemistry or any other knowledge, mathematics. And that is why, in our university curriculum and all, if you have to study MSc in, say, physics, master's degree, they expect you to at least have a bachelor's degree in physics. Let that bachelor's degree be a very poor degree, like a third division or whatever it is. They don't look for distinction, etc. and all that. But suppose I have studied some other subject, like history or accountancy and all, and then go to MSc physics. Will my mind be a prepared mind for receiving the knowledge of physics? It won't be. It will be totally lost. Therefore, any knowledge requires preparation. And when it comes to self-knowledge, it requires tremendous preparation. And that is what we call jnana yogyata. Therefore, now what we have got, the ultimate goal is freedom or moksha. For that I require jnanam. And for gaining that jnanam, I require jnana yogyata, fitness of the mind. Now the next question is, for that jnana yogyata, what should I practice? And from that perspective alone, Krishna gives karma yoga as the solution. Karma yoga consisting of various actions. In fact, Krishna talks about karma yoga a lot in the next chapter also, in the third chapter also, which we will certainly be seeing. So karma yoga gives jnana yogyata. So if I want to achieve my goal of freedom, and I know that I have to gain jnanam for that, self-knowledge, what should I do? I should take the prescribed path, take the path of karma yoga. Gain jnana yogyata, then go to jnanam, and then discover the inner freedom. And this is not restricted to only our culture, anybody. This is the universal formula. And whatever religious practice I do with a proper attitude, whether it is puja, japa, dana, yajna, even swadharma, they will all come under karma yoga, which leads to purification of the mind. A purified mind is a jnana yogya mind. So there is no confusion at all. Everything is crystal clear, as they say. So a karma yogi knows where he is now. He knows where he has to be next. And he also knows what is the ultimate goal. And Krishna says that this is vyavasayatmika buddhi. And this buddhi, mind you, this mind should be single pointed, eka. Because the goal is only one, moksha in the form of jnana, knowledge. So the goal is eka, the means is eka, only jnanam. So for this, what is to be done? How to go about it practically? One needs clarity regarding one's priorities in life. And this understanding is called eka. It is one, unchanging. Eka means not only unchanging, but unswearing also. One doesn't swear away from that. And even if somebody comes and tells something, this person who has got this eka buddhi, he will not be confused. And the problem with most of us is that we don't have this clarity. Only a karma yogi has to develop this clarity. In fact, a karma yogi, when he becomes a karma yogi itself, it is because of this clarity that he becomes a karma yogi. All others are karmis. They have no idea about spirituality. And the irony is, if they were nastikas, they would not waste their time in religious practices. So most of the people that we come across are half-baked astikas, who are religious, but who do not know what they are doing is for what is the purpose of all that religious activities that they are doing. And they end up wasting their time and effort. And therefore, most of the religious practices, they become a waste of time because the person does not know how to use that. First of all, they don't even have an understanding why those religious practices have been prescribed in the first place. And such people, Krishna calls them avyavasayina, those who do not have clarity regarding the means and ends. Because the means are bahushaka hai, and for many people, even the end is also there is a lack of clarity, and that also could be many branched ends. Bahushaka hai. Today you have got one goal, after some time you have got another goal, so the goal posts go on shifting for those people. They will listen to somebody's discourse, and that they would have been told that in the Kali Yuga, singing the praise of the Lord is the only way to moksha. Since they do not know anything about it, they will start attending bhajans. They will start singing bhajans. For some time, this will continue. Then somebody else, they will go to some yoga discourse or something. Some yoga Acharya will say that all this is all waste of time. The quickest method for moksha is raising the kundalini. Then they will start kundalini yoga. Then one Acharya from the tradition will come. He will tell them that, no, for moksha, Gita you must study. Bhagavad Gita you must study. That is moksha shastra. So they will start attending Bhagavad Gita classes. And such people will come for a few days, attend the classes. They will become restless. If you have to study and understand the moksha shastra, Bhagavad Gita with detailed commentary, it may take a few years. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. They don't have patience for that. They have fixed their goal, moksha, and that's like, all these fast food joints. They want it now and now, moksha. So they will attend few classes. They will find that even Gita is not giving. They will go to something else. Then somebody will tell them, no, the best way to moksha is you have to do self-inquiry. Who am I? Who am I? This inquiry. Just go on asking. So they will go on doing who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I. Puja Swamiji humorously says, the husband will be sitting in the hall with closed eyes, with Padmasana, and asking himself, who am I, who am I, who am I? And there'll be a voice coming from the kitchen that you are an idiot. There are so many things to be done and you're sitting here and you're asking yourself, who am I, who am I? So like that, they will be totally confused. They are neither here nor there. There's only confusion. And this is not, this is what Bhagavan Krishna himself says, Bahushaka. Utter confusion. And many of such people, the danger is they often end up as Nastikas. They say, I tried everything, nothing works. They will put the whole blame on the religion. And it's very easy to convert such people to other faiths. All because what I am doing, what religious activities I am doing is not properly understood. And therefore, when he does not get the benefit, he will not blame his own lack of understanding. He will blame the religion. Like the students, this is very common. If somebody does not do well in an examination in the school or college, they will say the teaching is poor. Teaching is not proper. And many parents also will support this theory. Teaching is not proper. The teacher doesn't know how to teach. They will never ever even accept that the problem lies with that person's understanding and the amount of work that he needs to learn. They will never focus on that. So similarly, this person, he will blame the religion. He will say, I also did so many things, but nothing works. All these are all humbug, waste of time. So thus he will not know how to look at religion. He will end up often as a Nastika also. And as I was telling in the last week, in the Guru Purnima talks, most of us start religious practices without understanding why we have to do them. Initially, it is because our parents tell us to do, and then we do it. And if we ask the parents why we need to do these things, the problem would be that even the parents also do not know why these should be done. Many people do it out of fear of God. They tell the children, you don't do it, God will become angry. And some others, Parameshwara Prityartha, as some sort of a pleasing the God, so that he will give them whatever they want in life. Such people, either they do not have the goal clear in their mind, or even if the goal is fixed, they do not even bother to check up if the road that they are taking leads to what they are seeking. So there is no conviction. People do things without any conviction. And we must remember that if such a thing happens, the problem is not with the religion. The problem is that we have not clearly understood what it is. Because even let us take the example that I want to become a computer programmer. I have to attend a training course for 6 months or 9 months. And then I will learn how to operate, how to do the programming. We have to spend money, time, attend the course, learn, and then we apply it. Even in sports, if you really are very ambitious, want to become a state level or national level player, you have that ambition, you fix that as a goal. What do? You go to a good coach. Learn to play the game, all the nuances of the game, all the techniques of the game. So everything requires a training which has to come first before it is put into practice. But when it comes to religion, most of us do not see the importance of the training at all. Therefore, practicing religion without some learning of the scriptures is the most ridiculous thing, which often produces adverse results, adverse effect rather. In olden days, during the Vedic period, this basic learning about religion was given in the Brahmacharya ashrama, in the Gurukula. When they had the schooling, they have to learn the basics of religion. 12 years, 15 years, they would be taught everything about the religion. They will be very clear in their mind that all these religious practices can be used either for artha, kama, dharma, or moksha also. Even the karma kanda portion, it is not that jnana kanda alone is meant for moksha, others are meant for the other three purusharthas. It's all interconnected rather. When we talk of Veda, one should be able to visualize the entire picture that Veda wants to present. So the basics of the religion has to be learned first. But unfortunately, this teaching is no longer being done in the name of secularism or whatever. In fact, interestingly, it is only in our culture this has dropped off. In other cultures, religious teaching is very much, whatever religion they are, right teaching, wrong teaching, I'm not going into that. Whatever their religious scripture, they are taught to their children rather. Only in our culture, we have just given it up. And therefore, what it has resulted, many people do not value. And even people who just blindly practice, they do not know what is what. So Krishna is indirectly criticizing such people. Bahushaka hai. Not only they have many branches, they think there are many roads, but they are anantas cha, countless notions they have got, which we can learn from the type of questions they ask. Countless notions they have got regarding God, regarding the world, regarding karma, regarding puja, regarding dress. So many things. Why you are wearing this white cloth veshti, why you are having a extra cloth on the upper cloth, why you are having that, why you are not wearing a shirt. Is it a problem that if I wear a shirt and pant, I should not do a puja? So many questions are there, and they have got only questions. They don't even go and seek answers for the questions. Reason is their basics are not clear. Yeah, the errors can be many rather. For a small arithmetic problem, 2 plus 2, there is only one right answer, right? But just imagine how many wrong answers can be there. We can have infinite wrong answers for 2 plus 2. And that is why he says anantascha. So karma yoga, if we understand, is not merely living an ethical life, because one can legitimately aspire for money, power, heaven, whatever it is. Legitimately, the person performs various karmas and earns his or her life ethically, following sound work ethics, personal ethics, means one's life is proper. But such a person who is ethical need not necessarily be a mumukshu. A mumukshu is one who has already discriminated between the real and unreal. The one who has got nitya, anitya, vastu, viveka. Nitya, that which is eternal and which is always there. And anitya, which is ephemeral and non-eternal. So, that I am seeking eternally is knowledge that you gain in time after you have gone through enough rounds of experience to enlighten yourself. And we experience that all these experiences come and go, and all that happens is that you have become a permanent seeker, an experience hunter. Such people also there. Either you grow out of one experience and want a new experience, or you want a repeat of the experience. There are people who go guru hopping. They will go to one guru, be with that guru for some time. Then they will not be satisfied with this guru. They will go to some other guru. Then there are other kind of people who will listen to all gurus, all talks. Every guru has got his own method of unfolding what the reality is, what the truth is. If every guru is going to teach in the same way, the same thing, there need not be so many gurus. Every guru has got his own individuality in unfolding the truth. So what these people will do, they will listen to so many gurus and they will become more confused. Oh, this guru says this and that guru says this. Instead of understanding that what both the gurus are saying is the same thing. Because they have got lack of knowledge themselves, they are not able to make this connection between what all gurus are saying. And even then also, they will get some half, they will listen to some half, get some half knowledge, and they will come to their own conclusion that this is what the Guru is trying to tell, and they will get more confused. And when they are looking for all these experiences, they will have to realize that all experiences we are talking about is anitya. Therefore, whenever we do any karma, the result of that karma is anitya only, ephemeral, temporary. So, having pointed out the differences in understanding, Krishna now talks about those who are not clear about the end to be accomplished in life. Avyavasayinam, he said in this sloka. Now he is now expanding that avyavasayina, what kind of people they are. In fact, it looks like he's criticizing those people, but positively taken, we must understand that Krishna is now making a presentation to us as to what we should avoid in our life. And he explained this in the next 3 slokas. So we will take all the 3 slokas together. Okay. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitah vedavadaratav partha nanyadastiti vadinah kamatmana swargapara janma karma phala pradham kriya vishesha bahula bhogaishwarya gatim prati bhogaishwarya prasaktana taya pahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. These 3 slokas, very important slokas, bringing out very clearly the nature of these people who do not have vyavasayika buddhi. Since we are taking the 3 slokas, the Anvaya is a little complicated, but I will still give you the Anvaya. There are various ways we could have done the Anvaya for this. I have done it used some in methodology which I felt was convenient for me to explain. So the Anvaya is He Partha Avipaschitah Vedavadarataha Anyat na asti Vadinah iti Kamatmanah Swargaparaha Bhogaishwarya Gatim Prati Janma Karma Phala Pradam Kriya Vishesha Bahulam Pravadanti Yam Imam Pushpitam Vacham Taya Apaharta Chetasam Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam Samadhau Vyavasayatmika Buddhi na vidhiyate. So, in order to develop a Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, a clear understanding, here Krishna is pointing out, or rather explaining people who do not have the clear understanding, what is their characteristics, what are their characteristics. The word meanings, He Partha, O Arjuna, Avipaschitah, the unintelligent ones, Vedavadarataha, who are enamored of the Vedic statements, those who remain engrossed in the Karmakanda portion of the Vedas. Anyatna asti, there is nothing else. Iti vadinaha, those who argue. Thus, kamatmanaha, those who are full of desires. Kama atmanaha. Swargaparaha, those with heaven as their highest goal, who are votaries of heaven. Bhogaishwarya gatim prati, for the sake of attainment of pleasure and power. Janma karma phala pradham, and which lead to further births, rebirths, and more karmas in every birth. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam, which are full of specific rites. This is all the Vedavad Artha. The Vedas contain lot of specific rites, the results of which are results of action, punya papas. Pravadanti, speak or utter. Yamimam pushpitam vacham, such flowery words, such beautiful words. Taya, by those words, apahrita chetasam, whose mind are robbed or carried away, bhogaishwarya prasaktanam, of those who are attached to pleasure and power, samadhav, in the mind, vyavasayatmika buddhihi, the clear understanding of the goal and the means to attain that goal, na vidhiyate, does not take place. This is the essence meaning of these three shlokas taken together. So he says, O Arjuna, the unintelligent ones who are enamored of the Vedic statements, those who remain engrossed in the Karmakanda portion of the Veda, which are full of specific rites and results of actions, they argue that there is nothing else. These are people who are full of desires which lead to further births and who have heaven as their highest goal. And for the sake of the attainment of pleasure and power, such people who are attached to pleasure and power speak such flowery words, and by those words, their minds are carried away and a clear understanding does not take place in their mind. This is the meaning of taken three slokas taken together. So one way of seeing this is that in these three verses, Lord Krishna comes about strongly criticizing those people who are confused people, who do not have clarity, to contrast them with the Karma Yogi. So he is presenting the nature of these kind of people who are not Karma Yogis, whom you can call Karmis. So the distinction between Karmi and Karma Yogi is what he is trying to explain. So every Karmi is not a Karma Yogi. That we must be very clear in our mind. That is what he is now presenting. Who are these Karmis? What is their nature? But to understand these three verses, we need to understand certain aspects of human thinking and behavior. In fact, Bhagavan Krishna himself talks about this in a detailed manner in the 17th chapter. We will be seeing that at that time about human nature and behavior. But here, in the context of what he says, it will be useful to have a glimpse of how Bhagavan approaches the analysis of human activities. See, all human activities are divided into three types. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, that is yoga. That is the name of the chapter. Three types of gunas. Actions driven by three types of gunas that human beings have. And these three types are known as Sattvika Karmani, Rajasa karmani and tamasa karmani. All actions done by all human beings can be very broadly classified as these three: Satvika karmani, Rajasa karmani, and Tamasa karmani. And according to Bhagavan Krishna, Satvika karmas are those which will benefit the maximum number of people, which can be termed as selfless actions, and which takes into account the welfare and well-being of other people. These are actions not centered on one's own self. They are selfless actions. So they are called Satvika karmani. Then the second type of action, Rajasa karmani. These are actions which are purely individual oriented. They are self-centered actions. The person is not bothered about anybody else. Whether they are harmed, they are benefited, he does not bother. He keeps on doing all actions for his own benefit, for the benefit of himself, for the benefit of his family, or whomsoever he considers mine. His goal is, I'm not bothered about others, I should get the benefit myself. Others may also get benefit in the process, but that is not his goal. That is not what he is aiming for. He is aiming for that only I should get the benefit. Not only I should get the benefit. So these are all selfish actions or Rajasa karmani. And the third type of action Krishna mentions is Tamasa karmani, in which a person is not only selfish, but for the sake of fulfilling the selfish ends, he does not mind harming other people also. Therefore, he indulges in what we call krura karmani, which involved hurting other people. Such type of actions are called, harmful actions are called tamasa karmani. Therefore, very broadly, we can divide all actions into three: selfless actions, selfish actions, and harmful actions. And in terms of the growth of an individual, the scriptures point out that Satvika karmas primarily contribute to the inner growth of the human being. Therefore, the primary benefit of all Satvika karmas is inner growth, which we call it purity or chitta shuddhi, or we called it jnana yogyata. And these Satvika karmas, they may produce other benefits also, material benefits also. But material benefits are secondary. Primarily, they produce inner growth. But as a byproduct, they may produce material growth also, which actually they do. The Satvika karmas, they produce, material growth also. But a karma yogi who is actually practicing karma yoga and his predominant focus is on Satvika karmas, will not bother, will not pay any attention to the material growth that is taking place alongside. Then we come to Rajasa karmani. Rajasa karmani also contributes to the growth of a person. Both, I mean, the inner growth as well as outer growth, but the proportion is different. All the Rajasa karmani primarily contribute to the outer material growth of a person. And such a person will be able to accomplish a lot in material sense of the term. But in terms of spiritual growth, its contribution is minimal. Or at best, there will be a slight growth and slow growth will be there. So in both this Satvika Karmani and Rajasa Karmani, there is a growth which is happening, either spiritual growth or material growth in various proportions. Whereas the third type of karmas, which are tamasa karmas, that is for a person harming another person, and through that harmful action, he may get material benefit, corruption, scams, cheating, adulteration, bluffing, lying, through all these things. Certainly, a person does all these things for material benefits only. He doesn't do all these things for spiritual benefit. In fact, this person is far removed from any spiritual idea at all. So these tamasa karmas may contribute to material benefit, and in fact, tamasa karmas bring quicker material benefits even as compared to rajasa karmani. But the scriptures point out that in terms of inner growth, in terms of spiritual growth, they not only do not contribute, but on the contrary, they pull a person down. He goes down spiritually. That means he not only does not grow, he does not remain in the same place also. So even status quo is not maintained, but that person is going away from inner growth, adogati. He falls spiritually. So in short, Satvika Karmani predominantly contributes to inner growth. Rajasa Karmani contributes to the inner growth in a limited way. And Tamasa Karmani retards the growth. In fact, the growth is there in a reverse direction. It pulls one down. So this is one aspect. When we are talking about the means, Karma Yoga, which is the means for attaining Jnana Yogyata, we need to understand these aspects. So the first aspect is that in order to gain Jnana Yogyata, your actions should be what? Satvika Karmani only. You must try to totally minimize Rajasa Karmani and completely eliminate Tamasa Karmani from your actions. First lesson. And the second most important aspect that we need to understand and appreciate is that the real peace and happiness of a person primarily depends upon the inner growth alone and not the external growth. No doubt, the external growth in terms of material accomplishments will give some joy and peace. But the primary contribution to peace and joy is by inner growth alone. What does that mean? That means that if a person who does not have inner growth, even if he has got all material wealth, he will not enjoy his life because he will have conflicts, a high sense of insecurity, and also perhaps a guilt. Because in amassing the material wealth, he would have gone against his conscience. So when the inner growth is stunted, the external things cannot give peace or joy. Whereas when there is inner growth is there, whether the external things are there or not, a person can enjoy peace. He can be joyful. So these are all the basic information we have to keep in mind when Karma Yoga is being understood. So first we should know what three types of karmas are there in terms of inner growth. Second, we have to know that the inner growth alone primarily contributes to the peace of mind of a person. Having kept this lesson in mind, in these three verses, Krishna strongly criticizes those people who are committed to Rajasa Karmani. He criticizes those who are committed to Rajasic actions, which means people who are interested only in their own personal benefit, and that too material benefits alone. They do not care about anything, even spiritual growth. Such selfish people are criticized here strongly. Krishna does not specifically talk about Tamasa Karmani here, but that we have to understand. When Rajasa Karmani itself is criticized, what to talk of Tamasa Karma? Tamasa Karma brings down a person. Even though Rajasa Karma does not bring down a person, it keeps a person without spiritual growth, and therefore those actions are criticized here. Krishna is only contrasting with persons who are mumukshus, who are going for freedom, and who are karma yogis and the karmis. So when we understand these words, we will have to take words from all the three verses, not in the same order as they occur, but mix and match kind of a thing. Because all these three verses put together is one grammatical sentence. Of course, it's a very long Sanskrit sentence. Therefore, I'll be taking the words from various places and explaining the meanings and the context and rearranging to some extent for the sake of understanding. So the first criticism is of selfish people. Who are they? Who are these selfish people? He describes them. Selfish come materialistic people, let us put it. Here he refers to them as avipaschitaha. Vipaschitaha means intelligent people. Avipaschitaha means unintelligent people. They are unintelligent people, indiscriminate people. And what is unintelligent about them? The unintelligence here is thinking that material wealth and accomplishments alone can make my life successful. They alone can give me happiness. Such a notion is called here, it is avivekinaha, and these avivekis are called avipaschitaha. Whereas if we actually go through the Gita, the conclusion of the Gita is material accomplishments alone cannot give you permanent happiness. As it is said, money can buy bed, but money cannot buy sleep. Money can buy food, but money cannot buy hunger. Money can buy people, but it cannot buy love. So many things money can do, but the most important things that we need for our life, money cannot buy that. Thus, there are many important things in life which we cannot buy, which money cannot buy. And if I do not understand that I am aviveki, I will be thinking that artha kama are the ultimate purushartha. Therefore, first characteristics of avipaschitaha, avivekinaha, artha kama pradhanaha, prayartinaha, all these various places Krishna will use, or other scriptures use these terms for such people. So they are avipaschitaha. And the next criticism or the next characteristic of these people, Krishna points out, is that they are Vedavada Rataha. I think it's time now. We will see Vedavada Rataha and other descriptions in the next class. Okay. I will stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Hari Om Guruji, Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you so much, Guruji. Thank you,
Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Namaskaram and thank you, Guruji.
Namaskaram, namaskaram. Thank you.
Guruji,
Yes.
regarding the religious practices, somewhere we have to make a beginning. I believe, all of us cannot be an expert. That's why we have to make a beginning.
Yes.
Like, for example, even in the case of Valmiki, he did not believe in Rama.
Yeah.
So he was told, do one thing, say Mara, Mara, Mara. Then that's how he not only believed him, he wrote the entire Valmiki Ramayana.
Correct.
So he made that beginning.
Yeah.
Again, maybe under a guru perhaps.
Guru is necessary because somebody, some guide, as I said, even for sports or anything, we go to coaches, right? So this is also, if we take this pursuit seriously, as I keep on saying, entertainment Vedanta, people just don't know what else to do, especially retired people. So they say, okay, let me see what is there in Bhagavad Gita, what is there in Vedanta. But they have no intention. That is not their goal. Moksha is not their goal. They are given the choice between the Bhagavad Gita class and some television program which they are very much enamored with. They will skip the Bhagavad Gita and go to television. So such people, they are all the people whom Krishna say, he is not saying that everybody should pursue moksha. First of all, let us understand that, right? It's all individual goals. If you fix your goal as freedom, as eternal happiness, as being permanently happy, if you fix that as your goal, then you have to follow this karma yoga, you have to follow. Now, what is that karma yoga? He is explaining now. And what are he is contrasting with the people who do not have this as a goal, and then they go on doing so many things. But as you say, we need not necessarily understand what each this homa will give, that karma will give. We need not understand that.
That's correct.
If we understand broadly that whatever karma I do, it should be sattvika karma, then you understand what are the sattvika karmas. Sattvika karmas are those karmas which may give benefit to the maximum number of people. You could also benefit by sattvika karmas. You may be one amongst the hundreds of people benefiting. That way the scriptures do not prohibit. It selfless does not mean that you should exclude the self in the benefit. Selfless means your aim of doing it is not for the self alone. So when you do that, then there are sattvika karmas, and every action that we do, we have to question ourselves. I am going to do this. Is it going to benefit more number of people, or is it going to benefit only me and my family? So that every time we ask that question. Sorry?
Correct. Sorry. Expecting no returns, you do the sattvic karma.
No, you can expect returns. Sattvika karma, the attitude we will see later on in this karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Because no human being can be naturally expected to do things without expecting anything in return. That will be very, very unnatural for us to assume. Therefore, what Krishna says is, do your karmas as they are to be done. And whatever you get, you accept it as Ishvara Prasada. For that, what we have to do? He points out that you have got control only over what you can do. You can decide what I should do, what I should not do. But what result they will bring, you have no control over it.
No control.
Because adhikara, many people misinterpret that sloka such, horribly, they think that you have no right to expect any results. That is totally wrong interpretation. When adhikara, Krishna talks about in that karmanyevadikaraste, adhikara is talked about is control. You can control your actions, but you cannot control the results of the actions, because the results of those actions depends upon so many other external factors which are not under your control. You can sow the seed expecting a good crop, but there could be a tsunami, there could be some external weather conditions can affect everything. That is not in your control, right? That is what Krishna explains. So from our perspective, what we should do, if my goal is moksha, I have done whatever, whether I have done artha kama purushartha or not, or dharma purushartha, I am now saying that I understand there is a moksha purushartha, which is what I want. I want to be free. I want to be free from all headaches, from all stresses, everything. I want to be free. What I should go, how I should go about it. Krishna says one word, karma yoga. Make yourself first, prepare yourself, your mind, because the moksha you will get only through jnana. But for jnana, you have to prepare the base. Jnana will not pour into a corrupted mind, into a mind which is boggled in all sorts of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All this completely mind, dominated by all these emotions. No knowledge will go into that mind. So karma yoga is the first step, cleaning up the mind. You have gathered this muck over so many births, birth after birth. This is what you have been doing. Luckily, in this birth, you have got Krishna as your guide in the form of Bhagavad Gita, and he is trying to tell us something. If we are serious, we understand, we follow. If you are not having moksha as your goal, no problem. Then you can watch television when you get time, listen to Swami Paramarthananda, or go to do whatever you want to do. You can even your food habits, you can be very free with that. Nobody compels anybody to fix a certain goal. This is what you should do. That no compulsion is there. But if you have fixed that as your goal, this is what you have to do, nothing else. So we have to begin. We need not understand everything that is there in the Vedas. We just understand where the karmas are sattvika karmas. And they are also rajasika karmas. In that Vedas talked about tamasa karmas also, but they say that you should not do tamasa karmas. They are prohibited. Avihita karmas. The vihita karmas, avihita karmas. But the karmas which we do for artha kama, at some stage, if we start realizing that the very same karmas I can do for purification of my mind, my chitta shuddhi, then there is a complete tectonic shift in your attitude. You are no longer doing all this puja that I should get putra, pautra, bahuputra, labham, business and all. No. You say, I don't want all these things. That all I will get according to what my previous karmas are. This janma I am going to use for the purpose of going higher in level in terms of my purusharthas. I am now going to start working toward moksha purushartha. Artha kama will take care of itself. I will do the same puja. I will do the same yajna. I will do the same sandhya vandanam, but all for only one purpose. For chitta shuddhi.
Chitta shuddhi.
So if you have that attitude and you are doing it with that purpose, it is selfless. Right? And immediately chitta shuddhi may not give benefit to all the people, but it will give. The more you become pious by purifying, it will reflect in your relationship with all other people also. They will no longer look upon you as an enemy or as what I can call an undesirable person. So there is a benefit for in the surroundings also. So that, and all actions should be directed towards that.
Correct.
I am doing this. Is it going to benefit more people? Fine. On the outside my family, if it is going to benefit, I do it. Danam, Annadanam, Vidyadanam, all these things, so many things that we can do. Only in a human body we can do all these things. So that is how we have to understand and approach this.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And yes, Sita Ramanji.
Yes, Guruji.
Oh, okay. Okay, let Premaji speak.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it is the absence of intelligence, or is man, is pushed by the impulses of Prakriti or nature, that he is like that. So how does one discriminate between a lack of control and how to get into the intelligent mode? Because if you're stupid, you don't know.
See, this is, there are so many factors involved in that, basically, right? Even though we talk about all these things, the Karma Yoga attitude also will not spring on its own, right? We have to observe our life. First of all, in whatever we have done in our life, if we have had a goal, there are people, who have no goals in life. They'll just go on, whatever comes, they will just go on doing. And they will also make a big statement that I don't plan my life. I take whatever comes as it comes and all that, as if it's a very great philosophical statement. But by doing that, they are actually not acknowledging the fact that whatever they are doing in life, even though not stated, though not understood, they are doing it only for the sake of happiness. If you analyze all our actions, there is only one ultimate goal. That is, I want to be happy. I may think wrongly that by doing this, I will become happy. And in many cases, I may become happy also. But that happiness is temporary. It is short-lived. It will go away. Then I'll become sad. So for the first step one needs to take in this is, if you are serious about your life, first of all, you have to take your life seriously, that it is a purposeful life, that Bhagavan has given me this human life with a purpose. What is the purpose? We have to first. Then we get guidance. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya. That is my prayer. So my purpose should be that I should be able to contribute to that, welfare of everyone. So once these kind of thoughts start forming in your mind, then the viveka comes. You start looking at your happiness. This is temporary happiness. Yesterday I was very happy. Now today I am very sad. So that viveka, that discrimination should start, working in your mind. What should I do to continue that happiness? Then you start analyzing what happened yesterday that I was happy and what did not happen today that I was unhappy. Then you will find that yesterday what gave you happiness was the same thing that has given you unhappiness today. Yesterday somebody said, I love you. I was very happy because that person was a desirable person for me. Now today that person is saying, Puja Swamiji's word, I love you, get lost. That has made me unhappy. So the happiness and unhappiness are stemming from the same source. So if I was an unintelligent person, or intelligent person to put it, I will understand that happiness and my happiness and unhappiness should not be centered on that source. There should be some other source why I become happy. So this is the thinking process rather. Once you get into this thinking process, analyzing life, analyzing your actions, analyzing your emotions, slowly it will develop. And then you will come to a stage to look for a guidance, and then you go to a guru. And the guru takes you to the scriptures. He says, I don't know anything. It is you, but what I can tell you is, this is what the scriptures say. This is what you should do. This is what Bhagavad Gita says. Read Bhagavad Gita, understand Bhagavad Gita, assimilate Bhagavad Gita, follow whatever Krishna has advised. That is my advice also. The Guru will say that. Guru is not going to give him some special medicine. No, your bima, your health problem is a different problem. This medicine is not. His Guru has got common medicine, like Krishna has got common medicine. For entire humanity is a common medicine. Whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are a Hindu, you are a Jew, you are a Parsi, whatever it is, as long as you are a human being, this is the common medicine. So that is how the whole process has to start. It won't happen overnight. Let me tell you that. It is not, you see, Vairagya does not mean Virakti. It does not mean you start hating things. No. You have to understand everything that is there in our life in its proper perspective. Vairagya is only understanding that while I am looking for eternal permanent happiness, all these things which I thought till now was giving me happiness are actually not the source of happiness. Now I have to search for that which is the real source of happiness. If I tap that source, I will be happy. That much intelligence if you get, then everything follows automatically. It's a process. It will take time to happen. So your discrimination should start. That viveka should start. That this gives me temporary happiness. So I should not depend upon this if I want permanent happiness. But there are most people, well, they'll say, this is human life. This will be like this only. One day you will be happy. One day you will be unhappy. So they will not even think that there is a possibility that you can be permanently happy. It will not even occur to them. They will just lead this life doing whatever they are doing, morning, get up, doing whatever they are doing. One fine day, they will go into the next birth. This death and next birth. And this Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam will go on and on and on. That's why Puja Swamiji always say, he used to tell us, you are all so lucky. I mean, you don't even realize the grace of Bhagawad that you have come to the Gurukulam and you are attending these classes. It is a very big, very momentous achievement in your cycle of birth, this thing. And you should make full use of this opportunity that you are gaining. What knowledge you are gaining here, you must make full. That is the ultimate truth. Whatever you may think or you may have notions about it, they are all, temporary notions only. So Puja Swamiji used to actually emphasize this again and again. So even the people who are today in this class also, there is, you just imagine the population of the world and how many people attend each of such classes. They are really fortunate, whether it is X Guru, Y Guru, Z Guru, doesn't matter. At least they have come to this forum for learning something which that itself shows some discrimination, viveka on their part, because they have recognized that I need this. So from that angle, we have to keep on working that. That's it. Okay, now I'll give a chance to Sitaram.
Yes.
A question, maybe you can call it a comment. Tamas is something to be ignored. It's not good, it is not beneficial. Number one.
Not ignored, it should not be practiced.
Yeah. So when I say ignored means it's to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Rajasa is something that is necessary for your survival, and if you are in business, you do it. But I feel integrity in thought, in action, in every aspect of your life is something that gives you the sattvic, the aspects of life into your business or into your life, which contributes.
No, integrity should also be combined with the who are going to benefit by my action.
So when I say integrity, see, I'm doing a business. It does not mean that everything comes to me. If I have 100 people working for me, it's 100 plus 1. It has to be that attitude. Whatever I earn.
Selflessness also, that will be Rajasic action only rather, because it is still not selfless. Isn't it?
No. See, what I am earning, what I'm doing the business for. It is for the welfare of the 100 guys who are there.
Correct.
And I'm also in that. Obviously, unless I survive, others don't. That is what I think. Okay,
Right.
but which actually is incorrect. Because if I'm doing a work, whether I'm working in an organization or whether I'm working in business or whether I'm working in community, like you say, I have to work towards a goal, which is the welfare of everybody. I achieve it or not is not in my hands.
Correct.
Once you realize that, once I accept that, then life becomes much more easier and pleasant.
Yeah. I just do my duty.
Yes.
Keep doing what I am supposed to do. That's true. Yeah, very true. That's true. Yeah.
But Vedanta very clearly tells that if I have got 100 rupees, I am a businessman or I am working, whatever may be my profession. Let's assume that I have earned 100 rupees and the 100 rupees is in my bank. How much is my effort in getting that 100 rupees? How much ever you may be working. Vedanta says that even less than 1% is your effort. There are so many other people, millions of people have contributed so that that 100 rupees is in your bank. So you can never claim, or I can never claim that I have earned that 100 rupees. So many people have worked for it. Even a morsel of rice which I am eating, millions of farmers have worked. The shirt that I am wearing today, millions of people have worked so that this shirt has been stitched. So in that 100 rupees earned, I would have my own personal effort. I can claim only less than 1%. The rest of the 99% has been contributed by so many people, including the trees, which is giving me air to breathe. So, but we unfortunately, we claim that I am a self-made man and I don't know what self-made is.
Yeah, you see, that is why, you know, 1 minute, let me just complete this. See, that is why when we come to Jnana Yoga and we are in the path of spiritual growth, the best method which is advised in the scriptures is to take to sannyasa. Sannyasa means that you give up everything. All material things you give up. Renunciation. Our problem today is, as I try to analyze, we are having one leg in two boats. There is a material boat and there is a spiritual boat. We are having one leg in this and one leg in that. So what happens? Sometimes the material boat takes us forward and the other times the spiritual boat takes us forward. And we end up having a lot of conflicting ideas there. And that's why Swami Paramatmananda says that for a grihastha to come to Jnana Yoga is not a very easy thing. Even to perform Karma Yoga is not a very easy thing. Sannyasi, it is very easy because he has no baggage with him. We are actually, as grihasthas, as family people, pursuing or trying to get this knowledge and trying to put into practice what we are learning. It is like we are carrying a huge burden at our back and trying to climb the Himalayas. So we must understand the limitations of what we are doing also. But that does not mean that we must not do this and we must not do that at the expense of another. Our approach should be, today, I see all my karmas as Rajasa karmas. Right? Starting point. I am a businessman. Now what I should start doing, let me analyze all my actions which I do in my business, and you let me see what is it that I do in order to reduce the Rajasic content of my karma and increase the sattvic content of my karma. Slowly, slowly, bit by bit. Certain things you may not be able to completely replace with sattvic karmas. So that is the process that we can set in motion to reach a certain goal, to reach a certain stage by converting the Rajasic karmas into Sattvika karmas. Not all of them will be there, but the predominant, at some stage, you will say that my Rajasic karma are not predominant in my life. My Sattvika karmas are predominant in my life. So these kind of, goals, that short-term goals we set for ourselves, then you start progressing, and that is all part of, again, Chitta Shuddhi and Karma Yoga sadhana. Even doing that, without giving it a name or anything, converting that. Somebody decides, okay, I have earned enough. I am no longer, and I have had a full career. I have retired now. I am now not going to pursue any activity which will give me an income. Other than, of course, the savings and all which I have done, that will automatically generate income. I am not going to do anything more than that. Whatever comes, I will try to live within that. Now I am going to dedicate my life, whatever I have got, whether it is money, whether it is knowledge, whether it is a skill, I am going to dedicate it to offer this free of cost to people who want or who desire this. I am not, this may benefit me. For example, now I am teaching you. Do you mean to say that there is no selfishness in the teaching? There is 100% selfishness aspect also is there, because when I am teaching, I am gaining. There cannot be any activity of a human being which can be 100% selfless. Everything that we do, all Sattvika karmas also, we are gaining. Chitta Shuddhi, we are gaining. It's a gain. It is, why do I do? What is my intention of doing Karma Yoga? Sorry. Karma Yoga intention is I should gain Chitta Shuddhi. So there is a gain for me involved in it. So we cannot say that totally, we have to give up the personal self-gain. But in very big terms, we can certainly start changing our lifestyle, start changing our life's goals, start changing the time that we spend on different activities, the proportion. All these things we can certainly do. Many people, simple thing, they just go to a hospital and they actually, distribute something, some prasadam to the patients. Some people go to some orphanage and they spend time with the children rather, without expecting anything. So many, if you actually think of Sattvika karmas, which is karmas benefit for others and very, very less benefit to my own self, you can think of thousands of such karmas, Sattvika karmas, which we can certainly do. Every one of us can do. Only thing is we must both have inclination and also the time to do that. So it's a very large canvas is there. We have to sit and start analyzing purely from personal life point of view. What is a good karma yoga sadhana for me may not be a good karma yoga sadhana for you. So you have to work it out yourself, and maybe take the advice of a guru or guidance of a guru. But guru also will not tell you what is suitable for you. That you have to figure it out yourself. It is your journey. Spiritual journey is an individual journey. I keep on saying, this is not a picnic. This is not a tour that we take with 50 people in a bus. Even though 50 people may be in a class, everybody's journey is an individual journey. That we have to understand. So that is how we have to approach this whole thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong in doing this Rajasika Karmani, because Rajasika Karmani, as I said, are meant for material benefits. And material benefits are not scoffed at by the Vedas. In fact, Artha and Kama Purusharthas are prescribed And all these 80% of the Veda, which is Karma Kanda portion, is for gaining material benefits only. So Vedas are not scoffing at material benefits. Vedas are only saying, don't get bogged down in that. Try to keep on growing. Once you have attained Artha Kama, you have got enough wealth, get into the Dharma Purushartha. Dhanam, all these things, get into that. That is Dharma Purushartha again, is in between Artha Kama and Moksha, which means what? Dharma Purushartha also is a means for Karma Yoga, for Chitta Shuddhi. So that very nicely the Dharma Purushartha is put, and by that you will get Punya Papa. So if your actions are all sattvic, there is no question of Papa at all. It's only Punya Karmas. You will gain more and more Punya. When you get more and more Punya, then you are collecting the qualification or gaining the qualification for going to Moksha Purushartha. So Dharma Purushartha is put there between Artha Kama and Moksha. So we have to understand all these things and continue, with a very clear mind that this is my goal, this is what I have to do, and with a Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, we have to continue. That is what it is. Okay. Anjali ji.
Yeah, Namaste Guruji. Guruji,
Namaste.
this Satvika Karmani is selfless work, selfless actions done with spiritual attitude, isn't it? We should say like that. Otherwise, because social workers also do the selfless work, but then they do not attain moksha. They do not attain moksha, or do they?
No. See, we must be clear. Moksha you cannot attain by selfless work, by Satvika Karmani. Satvika Karmani you will attain only Chitta Shuddhi. That is eligibility for moksha. Okay. So everybody who is doing Satvika Karmas, like you said, the social workers who do, all these things, if they do not have moksha as their goal, what will happen is they will go on gaining the Chitta Shuddhi, and if not in this birth, maybe in the future birth, that this Chitta Shuddhi will carry forward, because when we are carrying forward, our Antakarana is also reinstated in the new body, right?
Yeah.
So there will then that desire for moksha, because the more purer that desire for moksha will arise.
Yeah.
So what they are doing is not a waste.
Yeah.
But they are not understanding the connection between that and moksha. But they are doing the right thing. Karma yoga only they are doing. They are doing selfless service, benefiting all. They are doing karma yoga now without knowing why they are doing, but they are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
That is how we have to understand.
One more thing, like some people teach that in Bhagavad Gita, first 6 chapters are dedicated for Karma Yoga, then 6 chapters for Bhakti Yoga, then Dhyana Yoga. Is it so? Is it so, or it is a mix of?
It's a very broad division of Bhagavad Gita into 3 parts, right? Whereas when you come to other these the slokas are all mixed. For example, when we are talking first 6 chapters as Karma Yoga, in 2nd chapter itself we talked about Jnana Yoga, isn't it? Verses 12 to 25. Then it should not be there. So this is all, Acharyas, they want to, every Acharya wants to present what they want to do in a novel way. So some Acharyas have come up with this. Broadly, it is correct. Very broadly correct that most of Karma Yoga is talked about in first 6 chapters. Bhakti Yoga is, most of Bhakti Yoga, what is Bhakti and all talked about in the 2nd 6 chapters. And Jnana Yoga is talked about in the in the last 6 chapters. However, that is not a very strict compartmentalized classification. There is no such compartmentalization. We need not worry about whether this is that. Every shloka is a very important shloka. All the 700 shlokas are equally important so far as we are concerned in understanding the vision of Gita.
And these three yogas like Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, they are not independent paths to moksha. They are all interconnected. That is what we should say.
All these, see, Bhakti Yoga, there is nothing called Bhakti Yoga because without Bhakti, nothing can be there. You have to have Bhakti is the foundation for everything. Even if you don't get into Bhagavad Gita at all, you must have Bhakti. Bhakti towards your parents, Bhakti towards your environment. Bhakti means what? Reverence, respecting, right? So Bhakti is a very fundamental attitude that every human being should have. That's why Krishna will talk about Artha Bhakti, Artharthi Bhakti, Jnani Bhakti. A Jnani does not mean that he should need not have, Jnani should have equal Bhakti. But his Bhakti, the object of Bhakti will be Vedas and Upanishads. But that Bhakti is an attitude, it is a reverential attitude that everybody should have. So there is nothing called Bhakti Yoga separately, right? People get confused because what happens is, in Bhagavad Gita, every chapter has been given a name. Correct? This name was not given by Veda Vyasa. So what has happened is, over the period, some Acharyas who have come after Veda Vyasa, when they have gone through Bhagavad Gita, they have each chapter, they have actually seen what is the essence of this chapter. What is the main thing of this chapter? They have given a name like that. Bhakti Yoga, Purushottama Yoga, then Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, like that different names they have given. Yoga basically here means the topic. Yoga does not mean, the two things joining together. No. Yoga here means topic. So Bhakti Yoga means the topic of Bhakti, which many people have misinterpreted that it is like Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Then somebody is a Raja Yoga, because in the 6th chapter he talks everything about yoga, these yogasanas. Ashtanga Yoga, Bhagavan will talk. Then they say Raja Yoga is also one more method. So total confusion is there. That is why people who are not come in Sampradaya, they will confuse the students also. Swayam confuse hai, Anyaneva confuse. That's what they do. So there is no 4 yogas and all that. There is only 2 yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. And Karma Yoga is preparatory for Jnana Yoga. And Jnana Yoga is the only one which gives you moksha. That's a period. That's what you have.
Understood.
Guruji, when we are talking about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, can we also interpret that we have got the equipment like body, mind and intellect, and to use the body, we have to make use of our equipment to transcend from the terrestrial to transcendental world. We have to make use of the body, mind and intellect. Hence, when we say Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, this is in case of Karma Yoga, we are making use of our physical body. In case of Bhakti Yoga, we are making use of our feelings, that is our mind. And for Jnana Yoga, we are making use of our intellect. So we have to make use of all the 3 yogas. We cannot say that we will use only Karma Yoga, so that it is ultimately, as you have rightly told, Bhagavad Gita repeatedly says that Jnana is the only, everything culminates in knowledge. Whatever we do, whether it is karma, whether it is bhakti, finally everything culminates in Jnana. So
Why
Karma
first,
Yoga,
yes, so Karma Yoga, what you complete what you want to say.
Yeah, so when we can't use only Karma Yoga to attain moksha. We have to make use of our mind, that is the bhakti. And also we have to make use of our intellect.
That is a very crude way of dividing, because there is,
Yeah.
first of all, nothing called Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
There is nothing called Bhakti Yoga. There is only Bhakti. There is nothing
Okay.
called Bhakti Yoga. Whereas when it is called Karma, there are two things. Karma is there, Karma Yoga is there. Right?
Okay.
First point.
Yeah.
Second point, Jnana, Jnanam, knowledge takes place in the intellect. Fine.
Yeah.
But for that knowledge to take place in the intellect, is not mind and the body equally important? Our physical body, if it was a Shravanam, we require the hearing faculty for taking the Shravanam.
Yeah.
How does Jnanam takes place? The process of Jnanam is Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasana.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about even Jnana Yoga, for Shravanam, physical body is involved, Mananam, mind is involved, and for Nididhyasanam, after understanding, again mind is involved.
Yeah.
Nididhyasanam is what? It is nothing but, of course, you can call it between mind and interplay between mind and intellect. You are recalling the knowledge and you are meditating on that knowledge.
Yeah.
So the first mistake we all do is calling it something which is not existing as Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
There is nothing called Bhakti Yoga. There is only Bhakti.
Okay.
And that Bhakti is unnegotiable.
Yeah.
So far as the spiritual path is concerned, Bhakti is non-negotiable common factor throughout the spiritual journey. We must understand that, first of all. Right?
Yeah.
Then when we talk of Karma Yoga, we are talking about doing the karmas, whatever we do, whether it is Vaidika karmas or even Laukika karmas, with a certain attitude. What is that attitude? That attitude is Ishwararpana Bhava and Ishwara Prasada Bhava. That is Karma. That is Karma Yoga. Nothing to do with the body, mind, or intellect or anything. When it comes to Jnana Yoga, again body, mind, intellect are involved in terms of Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. So this overall picture should be very clear in our mind. We should not confuse, oh, this is that, this is that. The moment we start classifying, we get into trouble. So compartmentalization we must avoid, because Veda is one. So we must take Vedas as body of knowledge, and wherever it is, we have to take it like that without compartmentalizing that. For the purpose of understanding, of course, Veda Vyasa compartmentalized Vedas for a different purpose, for preserving the Vedas, right? But that purpose is different here. That he did not do it because Rig Veda says different thing, and Yajur Veda, all Vedas talk about the same thing only. So that is how we have to understand. Yeah. Thank you. Any other question? If nothing is there, I will close the session and we'll meet next Saturday. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
How is your stay? Your everything is going fine?
Don't ask that question. I was supposed to go back to the US on what was the day? Wednesday. It was a very tragic day for us. We all went to the airport, checked into the flight, crossed the security. And then we are told that your flight is cancelled. Then actually we were in the US immigration area, because when going from Canada to US, immigration is done here in Canada itself. We were in the US immigration area, huge queue there. So we had to come through all that, come out, and then again enter Canada immigration area, again re-enter Canada without leaving Canada. Very funny, I tell you. And then we had one check-in baggage, which we were told that we can get it only after about 8 hours of waiting. With 2 small kids, how we can wait for 8 hours? So then we came out. We said we will come the next day and collect the baggage. Then next day morning, we got another scare. And that they said that you have been put on a Washington flight and your baggage may go to Washington.
Oh, okay.
So we got totally scared. I said, we are not flying in that flight, Washington flight. We have not checked in for that. How can our baggage go? And they say that in Canada airport, anything can happen. So then we had to again rush back to the airport. I, along with my son, we went in the morning. Then we spent about 1.5 hours talking to different people. Nobody knows anything fully, rather. All are like, Avyavasai now. Ultimately, one person gave us some clue that he said there is no way your baggage can go to Washington and all since you are not checked in. So you go to so and so place and collect your baggage. It was a 10 minutes job. We went there, our baggage was there, we collected and came back. But the experience that we went through has actually
nightmare.
It was a nightmare in the sense that it was unnecessary rather.
I mean,
if they're going to cancel a flight, they should inform us a couple of hours in advance that the flight is cancelled, right?
Yeah.
You can't have people cancelling a flight after the persons have gone through security, everything, and suddenly you say the flight is cancelled. But anyhow, that is part of the karma. I thought that I had to actually exhaust that. So take it like that. That is.
Where are you now? Are you in the US or in?
No, I'm in Canada only. So what happened then was my daughter and son-in-law, they drove down from US yesterday night.
Okay.
So we said we will no longer trust this Air Canada flight and all. We will drive back to the US. So Sunday tomorrow we are leaving for the US by road. So
Okay.
that will be, everything will be hopefully under our control rather.
Okay. You could meet Sulekha ji in the Canada?
Yes. In fact, Sulekha ji has been a very great host for me. In fact, not only Sulekha ji, I met her mother also, a very pious, noble lady. And she had given a very wonderful lunch. She had cooked for us rather. Traditional South Indian lunch. It was really wonderful. I mean, Sulekha ji, certainly, I mean, she has been a great help and a great host here. And I look forward to meeting her again and again in my future visits.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
Okay then.
Right. Hari.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. We also appreciated meeting all of you, Guruji, on behalf of my mother and my husband and family. We wish you a very safe and comfortable car journey. And we also look forward to it. Our pranams and namaskarams to you. My mother has also indicated how much it meant to her. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.